Do you want to channel angels and guides? Have you been wanting very much to get that inner guidance because, goodness sakes, the world around you isn't giving you very good advice or direction? Well, my name's Sonia Choquette, and I'm a spiritual teacher and intuitive guide and have been for over 50 years. And today I'm going to talk about the prerequisites and the things that have to be put in place in order for you to start channeling your angels and guides. And believe it or not, they're not difficult. They're just very different. If you're new to my channel, I am so happy you're here. Welcome, welcome. I believe your spirit, angels, and guides brought you here. And if you're coming back, welcome back, because as you know, we have been very dedicated to leveling up to the fifth dimension, accessing our right to live in peace and joy, and to live divinely guided lives. And today, I'm going to talk about the steps that have to be put in place for that to happen. So welcome back, and let's go. Now, the first thing that has to be in place in order to channel your higher beings, your divine light beings, or your higher self, or your angels, or your guides, or the archangels, is you have to accept that you are a spiritual being. Think of it this way. If you see yourself as just a physical, ego-based, somewhat trapped being, it's like being an AM radio. Your bandwidth for picking up on frequencies is going to be super limited. And channeling is a quality that needs to come through a satellite frequency. And that is the frequency of recognizing I am a divine being, an eternal divine being, having this temporary and sometimes limiting human experience to learn to manifest and create with my consciousness. But I am not just a physical being, and I am not just living in a physical world. So that's step one, is you have to recognize that I am multidimensional, meaning, yes, I do have a body. Yes, I do have a mind. I do have emotions. Those are not physical. That's another dimension. That's the fourth dimension. And yes, I am a divine spirit. That's the fifth dimension. The next thing that has to happen is a willingness to see life through the eyes and through the paradigm, which really just means point of view of your spiritual self, which means you have to give up the race for victimhood. And that's a tough one because life can be really harsh, and it's so easy to say, why is this happening to me? This stinks. But when you work with the divine aspect of you, the question changes ever so slightly, but opens up a brand new window. You just simply say, this is very challenging or interesting. Why is this happening? And the second part of that question is, what can I learn? So you have to be in a state of mind that is receptive to that everything is unfolding with divine order and purpose, and there's value to it even when it's painful. And the value is the opportunity to become stronger, more creative, more empowered, to learn, to grow, to live in peace and grace and fearlessness. Those are big, big rewards that require a willingness for you to agree to that. Those terms. I will start looking at life as, why is this happening? What can I learn? Instead of, why is this happening and how unfair? The next thing is you have to open your heart, because spirit guides are just simply not accessible to your head. You're never going to tune into anything but your own ego, which may try to mask as a spirit guide and flatter you and tell you you're special and things that are just so not true and isolate you even more. You can always tell when you're on the wrong channel because it has a negative impact on you. It's separating, it's isolating, it's stressful, it's a lot of ego in it. That's not channeling anything but the garbage that's rolling around in the world and possibly landed in your head. Real channeling requires that you open your heart. And for a lot of people, that seems like quite a stretch, because what do you mean open my heart? I don't want to get hurt. Yeah, it's not for the faint of heart. You have to open your heart, but it doesn't mean you have to be just available to any nonsense. Along with opening your heart comes discernment. You have to start discerning the people, places, and choices you're making so you are not putting yourself in situations that are bad for you, that are clearly incongruent, they're not supportive, they don't lift you up, and quit denying that. So you have to have a really healthy self-interest and self-commitment to self-love. Now, you might tumble into it, but even if you're willing to lean in that direction, it begins to open the door to the portal of your heart, which is the gateway and entryway to being able to receive and consciously register channeling divine support, which is what channeling is, divine support, talking to you to help you and through you to help others possibly. The next thing is, and this is another big stretch, you have to suspend your cynicism, your disbelief, your how can that be so, prove it to me, ego analytical mind that's going to just negate it all and say you're nuts, you're crazy, this is out of the, not realistic, it's not real, you're making it up. So that's another big challenge that you're going to have to be willing to face. You're going to have to say, this is not coming from the AM radio frequency. So you have no voice in the matter. It's coming from a frequency that the ego is not familiar with. So you have to silence that doubt and that resistance and that negative disparaging and dismissal. So that's another choice you have to make. It's like, I'm going to trust this channeling that I'm receiving, even if it doesn't make logical sense. It's a big stretch. Then you have to prepare for those around you who really are stuck on that ego AM radio reality are probably going to call you crazy. It's definitely got to be something you're prepared for. So there's a couple ways to handle that. First, we go back to what I mentioned before, discernment. You don't have to tell everybody, and it's not that you're hiding it. You're exercising the right of self-love, self-interest, and privacy. Because the truth is, if someone isn't in their own heart and interested in their own spiritual evolution, there's no way that is going to be something that they're going to find receptive or interesting in you. It'll scare them, which will then evoke some kind of criticism or mockery or attack, because those are the things that happen when the ego is scared and trying to regain control. So you just have to be willing to recognize it's not for everyone. And if you do get criticized, you can say, well, clearly we're on different channels, and I'm okay with that. It works for me. This is for me. I don't need you to believe it or not believe it. I'm not trying to change you or convince you of a thing. I'm listening. The other thing is that you have to have some practical things in place. You need to be well hydrated. You need to be in an environment that feels safe to open your heart and let something in, let the communication in. You have to be available to new ideas and to information and influence that is other than your own personal ego control. Now, you don't have to surrender and turn your power over to any channeling. Just open your mind and consider it. So when you're channeling, you're being given suggestions, you're being given input that might be new to your ego, and all you have to do is be receptive enough to say, okay, I'll consider it. Because you do have free will, and you're never, ever, ever going to be asked to suspend that. It's another signal that it's good channeling. These will be loving suggestions that you can contemplate. Some might be radical. Some might be, never thought about that. Some might be suggesting a whole new dimension of life and possibility that your ego just would never understand or accept, but can learn. And you have to have a sense of humor, because spirit has a sense of humor, because spirit is joyful. And you will get jokes, you will get humor, you will get things that say smile and laugh. And you might think, well, my life is very hard and serious. And how can I have this jovial force coming through telling me to listen and pay attention and consider what they're saying because I'm in such a dark space? But Spirit is going to remind you that while your ego human experience might be in a challenging time, the Spirit in you is eternal and will always rise above any physical limitation or difficulty or illness or heartbreak or struggle. Always. That's the whole point of channeling, is to remind you that you are a spiritual being, that you will rise above, this too shall pass, and will give you instructions in how to make that experience easier. So it really is about a frame of mind and an attitude of receptivity, open-heartedness, availability. Practically, you have to be grounded. You have to be in a place where you can open up and not be distracted. Don't ever try to convince anybody of anything you're doing concerning channeling, because you're going to invite a whole lot of opinion that could just disrupt. Just see it as an intimate relationship with the higher realms and let that relationship unfold a bit. Now, is it good for you? Depends on what's coming through. It's good channeling and it's a loving source and it empowers you and it's good for all concerned and doesn't harm anyone and it doesn't flatter, and what you're giving, what you're receiving might be thought-provoking but leaves you feeling excited and available and growing and uplifted and reassured. That's good channeling. If it leaves you scared, if it leaves you negative, if it leaves you feeling like dire things are coming and I have no choice and just bums you out, then stop. It's not out of your control. It's a partnership. And it is a natural and an important faculty that we are waking up to have direct communication with the divine realms, including the most important, your own higher self. As we continue in the next session, I will give you more tips and tools, but this is just getting ready. So thank you for tuning into my channel. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe. I'm so happy about this. We're going to learn to channel. I'll see you next week. All my love.